In today's Clash Royale video, I'm going to show you the best deck for the new Miners Mine for Gold Change, where you can win this really nice new exclusive emote. For sure you need to have both mines in the deck. This is how the challenge works, and this deck looks really similar to the one of the best decks in Clash Royale. Pros are arguably saying this is the best deck in Clash Royale, but instead of the Archer for sure, we got the Musketeer because we already have one champion in the deck. And as you guys know, we just can have one champion in our deck. We got the Skulls and Firesmith for cheap cycle, Fireball Log, one of the soul spells, most soul spells in Clash Royale. We got the Mortar, which is kind of a defensive building against Golem, Giant, Electro Giant, but also against Lava Hound, against Log Bait, against Miner, can use it as a really great win condition. We got the Miner to chip, and also the Mighty Miner just got an emergency buff. The bomb explosion just takes 1 second instead of 3 seconds, so it's kind of better against all of the spam units. So if your opponent plays the Mean Horde, as example, before that you use the ability Sunrise, the Mean Horde was already like out of the bomb, and the bomb didn't get any value, but right now with the explosion just being 1 second, it's way more effective and genuinely one of the more better cards in Clash Royale. If you guys always want to know the best deck for the upcoming challenges, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also give a fat thumbs up on the video if you guys enjoyed this, and also make sure to use creator code Morten in the shop if you guys want to support me. And I would say let's directly jump into the games, and I'm going to show you why this deck is the best deck for the new challenge. Because the challenge isn't out yet, I'm going to jump into the grand challenge. I mean, it might be really similar. The only real thing is that most of the time the opponent won't play double miner. But currently, when I'm recording this video, or the day when the challenge comes out, I'm actually a CL qualifier. So if you want to see that, check it out on my Twitch, twitch.tv/mortenroyale. I will stream that live. So yeah, I will stream the qualifier for CL. And yeah, I think you guys understand it, that it's really interesting. And I will try my best to qualify, so just let you know. So we're going for a Mortar here, really aggressive with the Mortar, it's always great. I mean, for sure, Archer Queen in general is better in the deck, but the Musketeer has some way more, or has some more advantages. For sure, one is that a ton of people are playing Lightning. I mean, Lightning is still effective against this deck, but generally, Lightning for sure does well better against Archer Queen. Other thing is you can cycle Musketeers. Archer Queen, you can just have one on the map, right? But Musketeers, in some scenarios, you can cycle 2, so it might be way better against Lava Hound. For example, you cycle your Musk against the Lava Hound, and then, in a few seconds, the opponent's going for Balloon with the cheap cycle of Log, Fire, Spirit, and Skeletons. You're able to cycle back to another Mask, and the Queen, you always need to wait until she dies. So, Mighty Miner, as I said, got 2 emergency buffs. Once the ability from 2 elixir to 1. And now the bomb. As you guys, I'm just gonna use it here to show you guys. Just gonna plop, and now instead of 3 seconds, just takes 1 second, which can be really effective against rare skills, against spam decks in general. Because before that, it felt like it's quite annoying to face spam decks with Mighty Miner. Even the bomb normally should have been a really good counter to any type of spam, but it wasn't because of the free elixir, not free elixir, 3 seconds cooldown, or 3 seconds time until the bomb explodes. Most of the troops went already out of the bomb, so it didn't get any value. So right now we don't need to really play as a predictive anymore with the bomb explosion with the ability. So I think Mighty Miner might be a really solid card. Let me know what you guys think about the change, and let me also know in the comment section how this change worked out for you guys. So I'm just gonna go in for the Mortar always with the Mighty Miner. I think it's a great play. As you guys will see here, he needs to drop his mini pack. I'm just gonna go in for the ability here. Oh, what a huge ability! That's absolutely crazy. Let's go! And also, he still needs to defend the Mighty Miner, and that's actually crazy. So I'm just gonna go for a Fire Spit here, another Mortar. We have him in cycle right now, and as you guys can see, I have already another Mask, and this is kind of the advantage I was talking about. I'm just gonna drop my Skeletons here. I'm also going for the Mighty Miner and the Bridge here, because he wants to play in Royal Giant. And even if he's going for Barbarians now, I'm just gonna go for this because I feel like he plays a Barbarians. As you guys can see, the Barbarians die, and we get the Musketeer on the tower. And these are kind of pro plays I was talking about. I was looking forward. This is how you want to play. Generally, Mighty Miner. If you guys, most of you guys aren't level 14 yet, but if you're looking to play Mighty Miner now because you enjoy the card, you have a ton of fun, make sure to use it. It's one of the better cards right now. It might not be top tier. I mean, it's my first expression of the card, after the rework, but it might be one of the top 10 cards in Clash Royale. Next game against Extreme. So let's see what Extreme is playing. I'm just gonna go for a Fire Spit Bridge. Always one of my favorite starting moves with this deck. Fire Spit is just insanely strong. So he's just gonna cycle Log. Honestly, he missed that. So we get some chip damage. Just gonna go for the Miner here. Directly in the tower. Always gonna apply some chips. So Miner, people are always discussing, is Mortar first play will reply with this deck? I do not disagree with that. I would never go Mortar first play. Because, I mean, you can Mortar first play if you have okay, that was honestly bad. If you have Musketeer plus Mighty Miner in hand, because then the thing is, your opponent is kind of struggling. Okay, wait here for 1 second. Now I'm just gonna do this. Okay, maybe it wasn't optimal. It's kind of starting to break through even goes EJ in the bridge because Mighty Miner plus Musketeer still does pretty well. But generally, I think you guys getting my point, right? That if you go Mortar first play and your opponent has a really good punishing card, he's just going to ignore the Mortar and goes in, right? So going for Miner is way more safe. Also, with the Miner, you're most of the time baiting out stuff. So it really helps you out. What you want to do early on is figuring out what your opponent is playing. So this is why I personally really like going for miners early. Doesn't matter which really miner control deck it is, also giant miner. Miner early is always great because first, maybe you're like even baiting out a mortar counter from your opponent, like a mortar, like a cannon card example, or you're just like finding out which deck he has in general or some cards. So miner honestly really underrated first play. Yeah, in Clash Royale. So we're just gonna go for the miner once again, taking some chip. I also could have played the miner in the back. Normally would have been maybe the better play because his native was out of cycle. Most of the time people are expecting me to go in miner out of safe spot because yeah, this is the best play anti-NATO spot. But if he doesn't have NATO on cycle, normally I really like to go in for like a miner yeah, in the back and getting some extra chip hits. I think would have gotten like 2 more shots because of the Lumberjack had to go to the miner first. So I'm just gonna go for a log here. I'm just gonna go Fire Spirit. Just distracting this. Okay, I might just Fireball this. I think this is fine. I will also go in for Skeletons now. He might go in for Ability. I'm just gonna go log here and I'm also go Fire Spirit. The good thing is also the Fire Spirit still defended the Archqueen and now went on the Lumberjack and splashed also the tower. Fire Spirit does more damage than Fireball. This is always what I need to say in every single video I'm playing Fire Spirit in. So the good thing is the Musketeer won't get targeted by that. I'm just going to go for Mortar here. I think this is a good play. I'm also going for Mine in the back. Now, why Mine in the back? Yeah, why not? I really want him to force out a nade, or I want him to play a nade. I'm just going to Skeletons here. I think the Mortar is going on the Bowler, but still gets one splash hit because the Bowler is nearby the tower. Yes, of course. I'm just going to go for a Mighty Miner here, tanking for that. And I think I'm just gonna go on. Oh, that was a bad NATO. I think my troops are surviving. So I'm just gonna go Miner in the back. Also, Mighty Miner will tank here. The only problem I see right now is that I don't have a mask on the map. And he also has like a good push. So what I'm gonna do right now is need to go in for my Musketeer here. I'm just gonna go Fire Spirit. And what I'm gonna do right now is just gonna go Skeletons here. I hope it tanks for the Mighty Miner. Let's go. So he needs to use his ability early on. This is great. I'm just gonna go cycle my log here. Also make sure my Musketeer stays alive. This is great. I'm just going to go Musketeer because I think he's going to go in, and he does. I'm going for Mortar High. Why? Yeah, because I always apply some pressure with the Mortar High. And he still needs to fail. I'm just going to go Fireball here. Pulling that back. Great Fireball. Going for my Fire Spirit at the bridge. Fire Spirit at the bridge is coming down. Just go Mine on this spot. Maybe he's not going to predict it. So Locke is coming down. He can go in for NATO, but this will be way too late. GG's well played. Winning another game with this double Miner deck. Next game up here against FaZe XD Flawless. Cycling a Miner early on is great. So this is one of the examples where we like to go for more offensive mortars. Against Lockbait, Mortar is one of your main win conditions because he most of the time has a ton of cards against. Okay, that's a different Lockbait deck. Maybe it's going to be the Lockbait deck from this double Furnace deck with Mirror, as it is. But yeah, the great thing with this deck, or like with against Logbait, generally what we like to do is going for the miners, baiting out mortar counters, at example, a Valkyrie or Knight, which he most of the time has, and then he doesn't really have anything against, mortar anymore, because most of the sequences he needs to go in for, yeah, Inferno or something, or Tesla when he has that, and we can just predict it. So I'm just gonna go for Fire Spirit. Your Fire Spirit is just so strong, and I think this matchup could be a matchup where I'm really showing the power of the Mighty Miner bolts, because there's a ton of spam. Just go for a Miner here. I know he doesn't have a tornado, so Miner on this is completely fine. We're getting a ton of chip. He does have Fireball and no Rockets, so if I go in for a Musketeer in the back, first of all, he doesn't have his Fireball and Cycle, so we have a cheaper Cycle on him. He can't cycle or kill my Musketeer. And second, also, yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna go. Why I'm going for Skeletons here? Because at first it went back, and also kind of want to save my log in case he goes in for a mirror. So I'm just gonna use the ability here. As you guys will see, it's get a ton of value, which was just one elixir. Okay, didn't get as much value as I wanted, but still he needs to defend it on the opposite lane. As you guys can see, the Mighty Miner logs, he still needs to log that, and just for one elixir, it feels pretty solid. Also, what I really like to do, which I think is generally a really good tip for you if you guys want to use Mighty Miner or need to use Mighty Miner's challenge, is dropping the bomb when you get like the Mighty Miner tower, always getting the one elixir ability down, because you get like 444 damage, I think, on ladder. I don't really know how much on tourney standard. But it's pretty valuable, right? For just the one elixir ability, just one elixir, so much damage. So Even like your Mighty Miner is like 0 HP, just use the ability. So you're getting some chip damage on the tower with the bomb. Okay, this is exactly what I was talking about. This is why I don't really like to lock. So need to fireballs, it's still a +1 trade in general. But I think I can go for the ability here. Do I hit it? Okay, no, I'm bad. But that's fine. Sometimes you're bad. Okay, I need to go for Musketeer. I'm just gonna go Fire Spirit like this, tank this. And now I'm just gonna go Skeletons here. I need to go Mighty Miner to just tank here. I'm thinking about going for Defensive Mortar, kinda getting the control down. Okay, I'm just gonna go for Log. I didn't have Fire Spirit, I knew it goes to back, but I can just go on for my... Can I go for Bomb here? Plus Fire Spirit. No, the Bomb didn't come out. Okay, at least he can't mirror his Goblin Barrel anymore because he played the Horde. But I can just go for Fireball. Okay, I'm just gonna go for Miner here. I might just Fireball the Furnace in this sequence. I think this is a fine play. Also, the Mortar will kill all the Fire Spirits. Mortar on defense is just so strong. People are really... Okay, that goes in front. People are really talking about that Mortar might need a nerf just because of the HP. Mortar is just so tanky and it's so hard to kill. Even if you have EQ, it's not like a win against Mortar 1%. So I'm just gonna go for this here. He needs to go for a Log. I think I can go in for the ability. Maybe that's like the first time the ability really helps. No. But still, like, it was still fine. I think the Mortar connects. I can just go in for a Fireball here. I'm going in for my Miner here. GG's were played, another really easy win. You'll love to see these wins coming. This is great. So I might just go in for good luck here. Going for the Fire Spirit once again at the bridge, getting this chip damage done. And he goes in for Magic Archer. You'll love to see. We're getting a Fire Spirit connect to the tower with a small Fireball. And now we're getting a big Fireball and a Magic Archer. And already have like a big damage lead. And we didn't really do anything. We just spent like one more elixir than him with the Fire Spirit. Okay, this is interesting. If I see Giant Skeleton, I'm always worried. Honestly, Giant Skeleton, one of the most underrated cards in Clash Royale. Yes, the bomb isn't as effective anymore as it used to be. But he does so much damage. He free-shots an Eris, a Musketeer. And also, which people don't really get, he two-shots a Magic Archer. So... if you're like a fan of Giant Skeleton, I can always tell you guys I will also do a Giant Skeleton video soon, but you could play like a Giant Skeleton RG deck with the Zappies, with the Fisherman, E-Spirit, EQ, Log. It's a really, really good deck. Also, Balloon should work really great. So you just use this Tornado, so I'm just gonna go Miner in the back. Also, yeah, Fire Spirit gets respawned to the Tombstone, but still, Miner still is most like a healing a tower, right? But still is also doing some damage. I really like this deck. It makes a ton of fun to play. I mean, it could be also viable for ladder. If I would play this in ladder, as I said, maybe use Archqueen instead of the Musketeer and use instead of the Mighty Miner Valkyrie. But this version also looks really great. So Mighty Miner is really, really good against Giant Skeleton. We had to be a bit careful that the cloned skeleton didn't push the normal skeleton to tower. This is kind of how this deck works. But as you guys can see, Mighty Miner really tanky. And also, which I really like, we got the Fire Spirit, also we got the Log. So normally the Mighty Miner really strikes against any type of spam deck, but we got the right answers. Against Skeleton, we got a Log, against Bats, as example, we got the Fire Spirit. So this is why I really like in general this deck, because I think people might play a ton of spam in general because it does good against Mighty Miner. I'm just gonna go for the Firebolt here and looks, oh wait, this is it. I mean, we kinda need to be careful still, okay. Because first of all, he has Giant Skeleton, so there's always a comeback potential, and second of all, yeah, never be too cocky about your wins. So that was a really great Skeletons plus Fire Spirit Distraction. So I'm playing my Miner directly. This is my favorite Miner spot, by the way. I feel like when I play this Miner on this spot, it's like the best spot you can do. But you also let me know, what is your favorite Miner spot? This is, I think, a question I've never asked on a channel. I'm doing like YouTube for quite some time already. What's your favorite Miner spot to do in a really, really tricky situation? When you're playing a Miner deck, doesn't matter, Miner Control, Giant Miner, or a different Miner Mortar deck, Miner Poison. When you're like in the situation where you just need like one more Miner shot to get the tower to even up the game or to win the game, what's the placement you're going for? This is a really good question, I guess. So if you guys watched the video until now, let me know in the comment section. So I'm just gonna go for Mortar High here. I'm just gonna go Fireball. Okay, the Fire Spirit was kind of unnecessary, but I'm still not really worried. Mortar Splash also kind of underrated in this matchup. Still really helps to clean up all the clone stuff. And I think this is a flawless victory. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure to use Creator Mod in the shop. If you guys want to support me, really appreciate it. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow or later in the stream when I'm streaming the qualification for the next gold ticket event. Peace out. Thanks for watching and goodbye, guys.